Welcome back to another edition of Splitting Hairs with Max, Nicky, and Nickon.
As usual, I'm Max.
I'm Nicky.
And I'm Nickon.
And together we're Max, Nicky, and Nickon.
That's right.
Hey, Max here for the later on video portion. I am starting off as a polar bear.
So we're recording this on Zoom as well if you want to watch the video.
Oh, man. Sorry.
If you want to watch the video of this later on.
Oh, my God.
If you want to watch the video of this later on YouTube, when we put it up there.
Relive this, guys.
You can look at Max's avatar right now on Zoom. He's a gaunt polar bear, right?
Wait, Nicky,
truly.
Did you say I'm a what, Nicky? Say that again. I'm a what?
A gaunt polar bear.
Oh,
The Instagram people are not going to get this right now.
Nobody. I don't even get it.
because you're looking at Instagram. But if you're looking at the Zoom,
I'm just looking at the
with my
Instagram.
mouth,
This
my
is so
polar bear
confusing.
mouth.
You know, the
This is
thing about these
confusing.
avatars
all right,
right
I'm
now,
going to get off the avatar right now.
the thing
Or
about the avatar...
just stop talking about it with the Instagram. Unless we don't care about them at all.
All right,
in
I'm
which
a
case, why are we doing
cool
this?
dudes. What's up? Cool dudes.
Nobody gets this. Nobody understands what's happening.
Okay. All right, guys, let's
I
get
didn't
into
mean
it.
to put that on that other video filter.
Let's get into it. How are we doing,
get into
guys?
it.
How are we doing on this actually kind of somewhat of a beautiful Wednesday evening?
It sure is.
A beautiful May Wednesday in 2023.
Now we have all the information.
At
And
7:54
now we-
p.m. East Coast.
And now we may proceed. Now we may proceed. Let's see it. What's your best automated voice? Can you do? Hello, my name is Max. Now we may proceed.
Are we all doing that?
I don't know. I thought I was going to ask how you guys have a better one.
What were you trying to do? A robot voice?
Oh, an automated kind of voice. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't do
would do more like.
prompts.
I would do more like.
Okay, fine.
Now,
I'm sorry.
now you may proceed.
Oh, I like that. That's a little more lilty. Yours is more of like a C-3PO type of robot.
Well, anyway,
Man, that'd be
Nickon-
such a great job, right? To like do the voice of a robot on Star Wars, right?
Sure. Yeah. Hey.
Or
listen.
act as the robot, whatever.
I actually
Sure.
I looked up the. I was watching a video recently of the guy who did the voice / sound effects for
C-3PO.
I mean,
R2-D2.
R2-D2. And he used this sort of keyboard kind of instrument thing to make the sound effects, but he also he mixed that in with his own kind of modified voice of his own voice, actually making
Oh,
sounds.
really?
Yeah, it's
so he's
kind of
going
interesting.
like bing bong, bing bong, boop bop, beep. Whistles.
But
Yeah, that
it
makes
was
sense.
That's what I'm
modified
thinking.
too. Yeah.
Nice. Sound Design Wednesdays.
Sound Design Wednesdays. I know we're recording this on a Wednesday night. We usually do it on the weekends. But hey, we all are busy this time of year. Like
Yes,
this is
the
different from any
holidays.
other part of the year.
Nickon, you just went to California recently to visit
sure
your
did.
newly born nephew.
Yeah. I'm
How
an
was
uncle
that?
for the first time ever.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah, he's a sweet little boy.
I saw some pictures.
He's a cutie.
Adorable.
He's a cutie.
Do you feel, I know prior to going to California, you felt like, all right, I'm an uncle, but you didn't feel the weight of it really too much, I guess. But
Yeah, I still don't really feel the weight of it. It's nice. He's cute. I love him already, you know.
Sure.
But like, you know, what is there to love, really?
Did you change any diapers?
He's not an asshole, which is
Well,
good.
that's an interesting.
I'll tell you this,
That's
Nickon.
an interesting conversation to have. Actually, pretty controversial thing I could bring up, but
Oh,
you know,
Asshole babies?
Well, no, it just it goes into like arguments about abortion. I guess
Got it.
you know, just you know,
yeah.
you're-
Let's bring that into it.
well, I mean, this won't be our topic, but just I mean, imagine one of us having to plays the devil's advocate here.
Well, hey.
But you know, just sort of your love for somebody grows as you know you get closer to it, and as you have
Or-
As you get closer to it, is what Max just said, by the way.
Or the opposite.
or the opposite.
The more you get to know someone, you're like, man, this guy is intolerable.
That's true.
Gemma Leslie
Yes,
just
that's
said.
the argument against right there.
Gemma Leslie just said, "Did you introduce the
Against
baby to
abortion?
Grammar Corner yet?"
No, but I do have some things that I do have.
So, did you introduce the baby to Grammar Corner yet, Nickon?
I don't take prompts, guys. I don't know if you heard me before. No, I don't. Yes, no, it's funny. No.
Oh, you don't. I guess I didn't hear you. I'm so wrapped up in my own mind.
I did hear
No, not yet. But that's going to be part of the curriculum. You're right. That's you got to get them started young, so so they don't piss us off all the time with all their terrible grammar.
That's true.
I just saw it. I just saw it a couple days ago. I saw just the weird thing when people do this. They're like, Max and I's day at the beach.
Oh, we're getting into the corner. I like it.
I mean, I guess.
Oh, hold on.
Wait.
no, I like
okay,
it.
no,
We're
we're not
segue.
getting into the corner.
We're not.
That's a good segue. That's a good.
All
That's
right,
one of
but
those
we're going
segues,
out of-
and
we're
then
going-
we get the
Station
little
station
jingle.
business.
Yeah.
No, but
Okay.
we went out
right.
of order. We usually do station
Grammar
business
Corner.
first.
Grammar Corner. Grammar Corner.
It's happening.
It's happening. I just saw this again just a couple days ago. Somebody wrote something along the lines of Max and I's day at the beach. Max and I's?
Max and I's. That's nuts.
That is so insane. Why would you think that's correct?
One might say that's insane in the membranous region.
One might say that's
heard-
insane in the membranous regionis.
I heard. Man, there was something about a possessive thing that I heard recently, but I don't remember. I need to start logging these. So
And
Okay.
if you aren't aware, guys, you would say Max and my day at the beach. I mean, just leave Max out. Would it be proper to say I's day at the beach or my day at the beach? I
It's
mean,
very
just
simple,
use your
guys.
head.
See, I told you it would be louder. We were testing the sound out before. Nicky's like, "Oh, I'm pretty
Did he
tired."
spike?
Well, he said, "I'm just probably going to be talking like this throughout the whole thing," and I'm like,
Yeah,
"I
that
guarantee
never
you're going to get
happens.
louder right now," and he just did.
Definitely not on a
Seeing Nickon makes me excited.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was trying to say. Okay, I do have something to bring up for Grammar Corner. Well, it's not a grammar, but it's a sort of incorrect usage of words.
Okay. That's
not-
thank you for keeping us honest in our terminology there.
Okay,
Right.
But it's
when
Yeah.
you are a little apprehensive about something, or you're taking something with certain precautions because you are, and it starts with a W, what would you say? I'm a little
Weary.
oh, you.
I'm
we
sorry,
talked
wary,
about this
wary,
already,
wary.
yeah.
Sorry, wary.
You did wary versus weary.
Did I
before.
do that before?
Yeah,
I think so.
No way.
You did that.
Yep. Sorry.
Oh,
Next.
dang.
Woo. Next victim.
All right. Well,
No,
too
let's
bad.
hear it again. Let's hear it again. I don't even remember what you're. Honestly, I'm probably guilty of this.
You're
I
indulging
actually
him, dude.
avoid. I actually avoid both words because I mix them up myself.
Well, wary, just think of being aware, wary,
Right.
you know?
Or
awareness.
Or warning.
Well, that doesn't-
Where, you know?
that's a little. Okay.
No, that's got to be a prefix that makes sense in those cases.
Sure, I
think,
guess
right?
so. But anyway, but then weary is when you're fatigued. I am weary, a weary traveler, you know? But I hear often people say, I'm a little weary of that
I'm a
situation.
little weary.
Or
Maybe it's a
little weary of-
pronunciation thing.
No. I think
Maybe
people-
it's like a Bostonian. Boston.
I'm
I don't
sort of
like saying
weary
that.
about
Wary,
that. Sort of
wary.
weary about it.
Wary.
I don't know.
You can really spot it in a New Yorker. If they're
I'm not
saying
very good
wary.
at Boston over here, or
It's also whatever.
New England.
All right. Well, thanks for repeating another. No,
You told me to.
And that's a pet peeve of Nikon's, repeating a past grammar corner problem.
I hate having to repeat myself in general to the point
me
where
too.
like I get like even when I know it's the phone's fault, you know, like when I know I got broken, you know, the thing broke up, right? If I have to repeat myself on the phone because I lost reception, I will I will yell it, and it's mean and it's unpleasant, and I have no control over it.
The moral of that story is just don't talk to Nickon over the phone.
Just don't talk to me on the phone. Yeah,
unless you have the best connection possible.
And you can ensure that I do too, because it's a two-way.
Yeah, like when you start the conversation, Nickon, are you in a very receptive area?
Are you sitting down?
Are you sitting down? Are you sitting down for this?
Can you hear me now?
Why are you sitting down for this? Why? Something happened? No, I just want to make sure you have good reception.
So what is the creepy laugh going on? What?
Is that
you guys hear a creepy laugh?
I don't know. Is it the ice cream truck?
That wasn't me. It wasn't me. I was just pretending to do a creepy laugh. What's your creepiest laugh?
He doesn't take prompts.
No.
For the last time.
Wait, can people hear me through Nicky's phone? I hope so, but because I muted my phone.
Somebody else said they don't hear the creepy laugh. Yeah, Cammy, it might be you that's just hearing the creepy laugh.
I hear some weird sound.
I hear some weird sound.
That's just my voice, Cammy.
Oh, maybe it's the voice of. That is so annoying. I hate. Oh God, please don't do that.
Creepy though.
Well, if you heard it,
is that a laugh? Yeah, it depends on who it's coming from. Even the most charming laugh can be creepy if it's coming from a clown or something.
Yeah.
Why is that clowns are associated with scariness now? I mean, like being horror.
I think it's just
is it because of things like
I think it's a trope.
Well, it certainly, yeah. But actually...
Well, what do you think, Nickon?
Well, I think it's just a trope. I don't think that necessarily everybody finds them terrifying, but it's a common ground thing that we can be like, clowns are creepy, No,
but why did people start deciding clowns are creepy? I mean, in my opinion, it's because it's this makeup that's covering the clown's face, and so you can't really tell what they're actually emoting underneath.
I think it is that, and then you have movies like books, movies, whatever, like
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
That just bring it into the mainstream.
Insane Clown.
Sure,
Insane Clown Posse is kind of scary, right?
Oh, they're terrifying.
It's actually, also, I mean, not to bring it down, but there was a few years ago, there were kind of these creepy clowns going around, and I think there might have been, I could be maybe mixing this up with other things, but I think there were some like murders or just stalking incidents with clowns a few years ago. So much so that I don't know if this is true or not, but I had heard that Ronald McDonald was quietly retired for that reason.
No way.
This seems like it's almost a bit, but it's but there's no.
Well, it's not a bit. I'm not. I read about this recently, but then, although McDonald's, I think, released a statement saying that he's not retired, but I don't know. From what I understand,
I mean, I do think that premise is funny. That there's so many, there's killer clowns out there that force Ronald McDonald to retire, and it's a short film about Ronald McDonald having to retire from the position and his life kind of losing purpose. That's a funny idea, Nicky.
That's got legs.
I think it's got legs.
You could sabotage any kind of like national brand by going around and murdering people dressed as their mascot.
You certainly can.
So think about that next time.
That
you
is
want to murder
true.
someone.
I mean, the Lucky Charms, Lucky Charms.
What is it? Wearing the president's mask in Point Break. They wear the president's masks when they rob the bank.
Yeah. Tarnished Nixon's name after that.
And that was the only thing
that tarnished his name.
All right. Station
else?
business.
Station business.
Wait, hold on.
More grammar.
You have more?
And have I mentioned also, it is I before? It is I.
What are we just doing a best of over here? No, I don't remember that one. It is I. Oh, so, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So in that scenario, so generally you wouldn't say something like, "Oh, he was talking with he and I." You wouldn't say that, right? But you would say, it's sort of old-timey to say it in kind of from like literature you might hear.
It is I.
It is I, Max, or something like that.
Yeah.
Or and that carries over to when we pick up the phone.
Oh, stop lying, Max.
say,
you still do that.
Oh,
you do that today.
yes.
Hey,
This is
can
he?
Can I speak with Max? This is he. It's the same
Yeah.
thing. And I
Is
think
that improper? This is
no,
he?
it actually is old time proper. Actually,
I
Old time
think
proper.
you would say the full sentence would be, "This is he who is speaking right now."
well, no, it doesn't matter
Or something
but
like that.
I
Does
think
that-
the point is when there isn't when it's
It is
kind of
he.
a neutral.
I am
Like
he. I am he.
the subject of the sentence is you haven't really defined it when it's sort of undefined and it's being defined by would you say the object of the sentence? I guess that's what you say. Then it's okay. I think it's something like that. Then it's okay to use the sort of normal introduction of a sentence pronouns at the end of a sentence. So like it is I or this is he, If that makes sense, right?
For those
Yeah,
of you
I
just
kinda
tuning
lost.
in on Instagram, by the way, this is
kinda-
Splitting Hairs with Max Nicky and Nickon, our podcast.
Do we really have to do that every 30 seconds?
Well, there's a
I mean,
couple
that's
new
exaggerated.
It's the only
That's
time.
the only time I did it.
Time you did it.
What
is this, a best
And
of?
you know what? I won't do it for another minute. How about that? So it's at least not 30 seconds. What is this, the best of?
Just to prove me wrong.
But here's the tip to that, Max, that it is he. And I know this is going to sound a little pretentious, but when I was in France, when I was in traveling, when I was
Yep,
in Ez,
already pretentious.
actually, for those of you who don't know, I met Nickon for the first time in France because I was studying in France with his sister, Catty Yoon, who is also a great friend. And we were studying in Lyon together.
That's true.
And Nickon and his parents visited Cat during that year-long study abroad program. But so I was traveling around, and I went to Ez, the little town of Ez, which overlooks
Oh my goodness! Come on, let's move it along here.
the sea.
He's just trying to squeeze as much pretension into it as possible.
Anyway, this town of Ez
You
has a
can
lot
cut
of
the pretension with
has
a
a lot
knife
of
in
small galleries throughout this small town, and there's a lot of artists that display their paintings right outside their storefronts, And I was passed by one, and I was like, "Oh, who did these?" But I said it in French, And she responded.
Bragger.
She said, "C'est moi qui l'a fait." And so she said, it is me. It is me who made this, but it's so weird because she said qui l'a fait instead of qui l'ait fait because
This is interesting
you understand what-
such a small percentage of people.
it was so bizarre because she used the he.
Who is this for?
He used the singular third person conjugation of the verb
Nicky, who is this for?
avoir, or
Oh my
or
goodness,
have,
this is true grammar corner
to
right now.
have
Yeah.
instead of using the first person.
He did
It
warn
blew
us
my
that it was going to be
mind.
pretentious.
Oh yeah,
This
Nicky.
is like-
She didn't use AI, she used A or I.
This is like a
Weird
like
and wild
AI,
stuff.
episode
as
of
in she
Frasier
used-
from Hell.
She used artificial intelligence, AI. Just kidding.
Oh man, way to
Way to bring us back down.
Way to
man.
bring
I had
us
to bring
back
us
down,
back
man.
because we
Yeah.
were so far gone with that pretend.
dude. If anything, I added some comedy to that just now. Thank you very
Well,
much.
actually, Nicky, you may have gone to Ez, which I did as well. But did you go to the arrière-pays of Nice and visit
This
the
is
wow,
the
this
small
is,
Frasier.
this is a new corner
of
the,
This is
Levance and
Frasier.
Giette?
the pretentious
Okay,
corner.
I just had to add that extra to
The pretentious corner.
addition to
all right.
this.
What's
All right,
what's
guys.
the theme
All
music
right,
for
all
a pretentious
right.
corner?
Let's
by the way?
get out of this.
Let's get out of this
Save
and let's
me
move
from
on
this.
to
We gotta have
Station-
some. We gotta have some music for the pretentious corner over here.
station business.
There's too many corners.
Station business. Okay, we are at station business officially.
Okay,
All right.
Let's
listen,
mention
folks.
Switching things up.
We have, for those of you who are in New York or plan on being in New York, this Saturday, we have the May edition of our Vintage Basement with Max and Nicky comedy and music variety show. It is in Park Slope at 7 p.m. this Saturday, the 13th, at Young Ethel's. Free admission, like we did last week.
Last time, not last week.
Or last month. Donations are welcome, of course. But make sure to get there ahead of time so you can grab a seat because it did fill up.
And if you
some people had to stand the last time. So.
And also,
Oh, boy.
if you want
That's
to,
nice. That's a good
you can
turnout.
reserve a spot as well. It's on our website, right?
It's on our website.
So just go to our website, click.
Actually,
Go to
you're
the
on
website.
Instagram right now. Guess what? All you have to do is go into the bio of our Instagram, on the Max and Nicky Instagram, click that link, and it'll send you right to the Eventbrite page to reserve your free seats.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
What about you, Nickon? Anything to promote?
Just go to onusoptics.com, buy yourself a pair of Nosebrella sunglasses.
Speaking
Protect
of
your
which,
nose from the
speaking
sun.
of, I wish I had a Nosebrella glasses recently.
Well, what's stopping you, man?
Well, no. Well, I didn't think it
He's
was
waiting
going
for
to. I
that
didn't think
free
the sun
merch.
was going to be out.
Just kidding.
But I actually had to do a field day thing for these students, and the sun came out in the middle of the day. I started feeling it against my neck, but then I started feeling it on my nose too. I was like, "Uh-oh." Lo and
Of course you
behold,
did.
later on,
Because you didn't have
the next
your
day,
Nosebrella.
I was like, "Oh, my nose hurts."
I saw it on
actually right
Max's
now.
nose. I says to him, "What's up with your nose, dude? It's all red."
I got sunburned.
And if he were wearing Onus Optics, he would have avoided
Yep.
the whole painful ordeal.
Listen, this offer is to both of you and to all of our fans and followers. If you want a discount code, hit me up after this.
Oh, that's so generous. Thank you, Nickon.
I mean, yeah. So we'll talk.
I mean, these would not have worked.
No.
For those of you
For our YouTube
if you're
viewers.
watching the
YouTube
YouTube
video
video
version, you would understand what I'm saying right now.
Yeah, you'd be
anyway.
laughing real hard.
So, guys, what's the
Okay,
the main?
Wait,
topic
can we
of
check
debate?
in on this? Can we check on the creepy laugh? What's happening on the
Well,
on the-
it turns
what do you call
out
it? What do you call the
Tammy
little texty
restarted
stuff?
her app, and she no longer heard the app. No longer heard the laughter,
Whoa, that is creepy.
and
Well, thank
she was
goodness.
picking up some other signal.
Now that is weird and wild stuff. That is weird and wild stuff.
I'll tell you this, guys, and I don't get paid by them, but if you check out, there's a specific episode of the podcast, Reply All, which is a great podcast. I don't think it's going anymore, but there's an episode about the Phantom Caller, and it gets really creepy.
Very creepy.
And I was listening to it on our drive back from New Orleans to New York in the middle of the night, and Max was asleep, and I was... Ooh, man, it freaked me out, that episode. Check it out, guys.
Well,
Reply
no,
All.
I listened to part of it, but I did fall asleep at times. Yes.
So what's the main topic of debate, guys?
Okay. Well. Okay.
What indeed?
Okay. Here's one that we could bring up. I know, Nicky, we've discussed travel in the past, but we didn't talk about because Nickon, you had brought this up after you got back from Spain.
Yeah.
About how traveling is just the whole ordeal of it being, or liking it or disliking it or something like that, right?
I mean, we could argue that it's just overrated in general.
Overrated,
Travel is
yeah.
Overrated. I think that's a strong position, and then the other position would be
Well,
no,
it's-
it's not. It's properly rated.
It's interesting. It's interesting,
Yeah, it's
Nickon,
underrated.
that you
or
say that
underrated.
because
that would be the strong opposition. is
if you go
underrated.
on these dating sites, you always see people say, "Love to travel."
That's not a personality.
Love to
not a
travel,
person.
and I'm always like, man, how many profiles are you going to come across where people say that same exact point?
Yeah,
and
no,
I'm just
yeah.
thinking,
That's an automatic skip.
right, love to travel.
I would be interested to see somebody actually put, "I hate traveling. I
Sure.
love being in those places, but I hate
But the
traveling."
travel
That would be an
part,
interesting
oh boy,
profile.
does that suck.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's one topic. We could also. I just thought of this topic the other day, and I wrote it down here on my notes.
Okay.
We could do. I personally don't like wearing clothing with logos on it. That's just kind of
That's interesting.
a symbol of like corporatism, and it's not. That's not the only
Sure.
reason why I don't like it. But anyway,
I think we're all going to agree on that. It's like, why?
Well, not necessarily.
advertising.
I would disagree.
Oh,
I would say
oh.
that band T-shirts are different.
that's different though.
Especially a band that you love, like you promoting their shirt.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Would you wear that?
No, I personally wouldn't.
Okay, well there you go.
But I would
you
love for
respect
somebody
it.
to wear our T-shirt.
well, that's different. That's a different story.
But it is a little silly to be like, "Hey, I like this band." I don't know. It's like,
Well,
it's weird in its own way. You're not like
sort
sure
of. I
maybe
mean,
you're
if it
trying
is,
to, like,
if people think it's like, if they like the logo you made, if it looks cool or
Well,
something.
I
you
do
know.
think it's a bit weird for somebody to wear a Radiohead T-shirt at this point. They're so popular. What are
Why?
you're just telling
Well,
people, "Hey, I
yeah.
like Radiohead," and it's kind of like,
so it's
okay,
only
guy.
acceptable to wear like an underground band's.
I do think so. Yeah. You're giving promotion to that band that you want to see become more successful.
Sort
I think that's
of.
good.
I think though it could be a point of.
I mean, are
here,
we
look,
debating
we're
this?
already
Are we
debating
debating
this
this or
actually.
not?
This could be a thing here.
Zumi,
I
I,
don't know
know
if
you're
this will last
joking.
that long, to be honest.
My cousin's joking. What are your favorite non-logoed brands? Kirkland is a solid non-logoed brand. Great bang for buck. You don't see
You
the
can
logo
get it at
anywhere.
Costco, of course. I had a friend who would buy jeans up to Yin Yang from Costco, and they were Kirkland brand jeans.
Oh yeah. Great value. We're not our sponsors yet, but great value nonetheless.
But hey, I do love Levi's brand jeans.
Well, okay, but that's. But I think if you wore.
So Levi's, if you're tuning in, we'd love to have you as a
Yes.
sponsor.
Yes, Levi's, the corporate entity. If you're tuning in,
Levi's big jeans. Yes,
And
I'm living
Levi's, if you're
large.
tuning in, this is the Splitting Hairs podcast with Max Nicky.
that was exactly 30 seconds ago. The last time you said it.
I was so anyway. What are some non-logoed brands? Well, that's the thing. Is sometimes some brands are.
I mean, the
it's like
T-shirt.
sometimes people get like things tailored or something like that, or if it might be just a vintage, like a sweater or something like that. Okay, for
Well,
instance,
no, I mean there are plenty of brands.
there's plenty
that
of
aren't-
brands.
I mean,
that
I'm wearing
don't-
the T-shirt
that-
I'm wearing is a blank T-shirt.
It is a brand.
Hanes doesn't write. They don't put.
Hanes. I actually you
American
mentioned
Apparel.
Levi's. I have a lot of white tees by Levi's. Is this what we're talking about today?
No, I don't know.
I don't know
I
how
don't
much debate we can get out of this, but
Yeah.
I will say this: we have a minute left on this Zoom session, so we're gonna have to switch over in a second.
Yep.
But
We have a minute left, so we have to switch over in a second. It's kind of a funny thing to say.
that is that's funny. That's a funny thing that you just said, Max. Maybe goes in the grammar corner category of the
No,
episode.
I
I don't know if
wouldn't
that's
put it in the
grammar.
grammar
That's more of
part.
an idiom.
That's
It's
more
like
of just a sort
part
of
an
a
idiom.
play like an idiomatic thing that is
Yeah.
happens to be a play with words. I guess something like that.
Right.
So we have a couple that Max offered. Anything you want to offer up, Nickon?
For some reason, thank you cards just popped into my head.
Oh,
Pro.
I love that.
Pro
Oh,
against-
I love that.
Or even better, holiday cards. Or not better, just a
Oh,
different
interessante.
Let's do holiday cards.
Okay.
Let's do it.
And
Let's
I'll take whatever angle I can. I mean, because they're very hateable.
You know what,
but they're
guys? It's
also
been a
delightful,
long
so,
time
you know.
since I've been the moderator. I'll volunteer to be the moderator for this one.
All right.
All right.
Well, we're gonna switch zooms and okay. There we go.
Okay, guys.
shit.
So we're about to switch Zooms right now, but let's check out the comments while Max creates a new link
Check out
here.
the comments. I can't do the comment stuff, so I'm just going to.
Bryce Shell, if it doesn't say members only on it, I'm not wearing it. Remember
There you
when
go.
members only jackets made a comeback in the sort of mid 2000s? And
I do remember that.
I like the look of a members only jacket, but I tell you this, there's something about when things get too trendy that it makes you like it a little bit less. I don't know why.
Oh, let's
Totally.
talk about that. See, there's so much to talk about.
That is a good topic. That's a good topic, right?
That's a good topic. I think it's a good topic. I don't know if we can split hairs on it, but sure.
Oh, Cammy wears the Max and Nicky shirt proudly. I love that. Thank you, Cammy.
When you said mystery,
Oh, Cammy's phone
when
is
you said
possessed.
mystery collar, I thought you meant collar. I was like, what was the mystery behind this?
That's
collar?
hilarious. That's so funny.
That's actually what I thought. Jeez, what? A
What?
dum-dum.
What's funny? What's hilarious?
When he said when I said mystery collar, he thought you were talking about a shirt collar.
Yeah. And I only realized it because one of the comments said that spelled it out.
That is hilarioso right
Boys,
there.
Oh, we got a
my
couple Canadians in in the chat right now. Bryce Shell he'd buy a Max and Nicky members only jacket. Oh man, that'd be an awesome kind of jacket.
That's interesting. A members only Max and Nicky jacket. Ooh, I like that idea.
No, a Max and Nicky members only jacket. You said it the other way around. It doesn't quite have that
same thing.
All right.
Let's do.
So we got. Hold on. What was the?
We got holiday cards.
Holiday cards, or
maybe
trends not being or things that you liked when they become trendy are not as cool to you. What's up with that? That's the topic. What's up with that?
Well, that's kind of an interesting.
You just broke up a bunch. I don't know what you were saying.
Oh, really?
Oh, he was just saying, or
when something that you love becomes too trendy, do you start liking it less? What's up with that?
Maybe some. I don't know. I feel like that.
Didn't we talk about that before?
I feel like it goes into like the kids these days column and like.
Also, I think when we were talking about.
No, I don't agree with that.
I will say this. I think we talked about it in the Beatles versus Rolling Stones episode because the Beatles
one, probably.
are an exception.
Hipster one,
probably. The hipster one. It was the hipster one. We did talk about that.
Well, here I just want to say that
But because the Beatles are so popular, yet they'll never lose their cool. You know.
Well, I do wear, some. I guess they're called C85 Reeboks, but they're a little bit of an older version than they currently have. The popular one, you can't get the version I have anymore.
How did you get them?
Because my older brother bought me some for Christmas a few years back, but I didn't start wearing them because I was still wearing my older ones, and I didn't start wearing them until later, a few years later, and you can't get those anymore, though. And
I tell you, this is not an interesting topic.
Yes, it is. What are you talking about?
Listen, Nicky, you took us down some crazy French. I don't even know what the takeaway was.
I think that was interesting. People in the chat thought that was interesting.
You took us down.
Okay, one person from Montreal thought it was interesting.
No, also,
that's lucky.
Gemma Leslie, Nova Scotia, right?
Okay, but Gemma Leslie actually appreciate your little detour?
She did.
That
she
is
said,
the question.
Actually, the one from Montreal said, I definitely approve of this.
Right.
I wasn't too sure. Anyway, we're talking too much about our comments.
Well, I just want to say that the shoes, though, they are very popular, though, this brand of shoe, this type of shoe. A lot of hipsters wear them. It's very popular. But it does make me think, God, should I get another shoe? I don't like that a lot. It's so trendy now. I do think Anyway.
All right. Holiday cards.
I still wear them, though.
Let's do it. I'll be moderator. What position are you guys taking?
I'll say I'll be pro.
Okay.
You brought it up and you're being pro. Okay, well, interesting.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Max is con.
Okay, that's going to be harder for me.
Opening statements,
okay. Well,
guys.
you want to be pro?
I'd rather be pro. Yeah, can I be pro?
Okay, you be pro. Okay.
All right, start with the con. Nickon, go. Nickon will start with the con.
Okay. Let's see. How do I do this without insulting any of my friends who send me holiday cards? They're
going to be like, I'm never sending you a holiday card.
Exactly. And you know what? Good, because I'm sick of them. This is how I get into it. It takes up space. Yeah. I don't celebrate. I'm not like a Christmas person, although I guess I'm becoming one with my fiance is like big into the tree and all that kind of stuff. It's fun. I don't know. It's growing on. It's all growing on me. But the cards I am arguing against.
Kids these days with their cards.
It's a terrible use of resources. Think about all the paper that's wasted. I guess this is like more of a ramble than an opening argument. I think, okay. You're either really earnest about your holiday cards and it's just kind of embarrassing. I feel really bad. I'm just because I actually do appreciate them a lot of the time, but I gotta argue the side. It's embarrassing if you're earnest about it, and it's even more embarrassing if you try to like be ironic and cheesy because it's just like it's such I think that is the most embarrassing version of it. Like hey, we're just like wearing silly sweaters and like holding each other in a weird like stepbrothers kind of pose, and
because
it's like
it becomes a little
because you're so self-conscious,
it's so hackneyed at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Judge. Thank you, impartial judge. Nicky.
I'll be doing this for both of you guys.
All right.
But
so,
I just
I
want
don't
to tack on to what he's saying.
Yeah.
I totally appreciate when people send them, but you're right. They are a waste of space, and you end up, after the holiday, you're like, okay, I'm just gonna stuff this into a drawer for the whole
or
year.
throw it away, and you're like, what if they find out?
I don't throw away
that
cards.
What if I used to not throw away cards. Now it's like, unless it's truly sentimental, unless there's like a personally written note. It's also just super impersonal. Like, I know you're sending this out to like the 1,000 people that you could think of, and there's no personalized note to it. It's like, hey, it's the holidays. Hello, here's my face.
Quick sidebar, guys. When I was studying abroad, I would.
Oh God!
I traveled a lot, and I sent postcards to my
that's
family.
Nice, and that's different.
And every kind of major place I was in, and I would write a long, detailed, letter on the postcard that would take up both sides of the postcard.
Basically, this was just another brag for Nicky to say that I've been to cities
I know a lot of words
in Europe. And
Max, anyway, there was one that I specifically wrote to my dad, and it was very long. And when I got back to Los Angeles after that year, I said, "Oh, did you end up getting that postcard?" And he said, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, where is it?" And he said, "Oh, I think I threw it away." And I was so bummed. I was like, I put a lot of work into that,
Yeah.
My mom saved all of the ones that I sent, though. They're all in the refrigerator.
All in the refrigerator. That's nice.
Well, yeah, she keeps like all the postcards that all 4 siblings sent, throughout the years.
That's nice.
But it
But
just
that's
made me
different.
think, okay, I'm never sending you a postcard again, at least, to my dad, at least, because I'm like, man, what a weight. Sure. I felt bad for not even taking a scan or
But that's
copy
not, listen, but that's not, I don't think that's the right way to look at it. Like, does that mean you should never say anything nice to somebody in person ever again because it's not going to be preserved on the refrefrigerator till the end of time? It's like, different people have...
that's
different
not
people have
true.
different. You spend a lot more time writing something than just saying it to the person.
Did he appreciate? Did he digest what you were saying when he read it?
I think so.
Okay, so does he have to be reminded of it every time he goes to the fridge to get an orange? Like,
yes, he does.
Everybody has a different approach to that.
No,
he
doesn't have to.
I do not judge him for throwing it away. I would not. I don't throw postcards away, but I do not judge him for doing it.
I wouldn't leave it on the refrigerator all the time, but I would keep it in safe, maybe,
but as someone whose fiance just moved in and we have a lot of stuff that we're sorting through, I appreciate the throwaway mentality.
Totally, 100%.
I agree.
Empathize.
Theo,
agree to an extent.
here's
Max, go. What's your opening statement?
Hold on. Now you. Hold on. Now I have to tag on to this.
Now that Nicky's bored, let's go on to Max's.
My dad
Hey,
has
I'm the moderator. You got to follow the rules, baby.
My dad has a.
That's true. You got to listen to him.
My dad has a baseball signed by like the St. Louis Cardinals from like the 1950s. The whole team.
That is totally different, Max. Okay, go on.
Well, this is my question. He has kept that. He's kept that over the years.
Monetary value.
Yes, but
he'll never sell it.
But he won't ever sell it. So it's keeping the baseball itself has more meaningful value to him than keeping this postcard that his son wrote when he was abroad.
It's because he knows that if he's in a tight spot, he can sell that baseball for next month's rent, and he's not going to be able to do that.
He doesn't pay rent.
However lovely the prose was in Nicky's postcard, he's not going to be able to sell that for beans. For beans, I tell you.
You don't know. Hey, hopefully one day, knock on wood.
Hey, hopefully one day. But even then, I mean, I don't know who this baseball player was, but...
No, it was the whole team. The whole team of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, It's probably worth a lot. Anyway, I don't judge him for it. I'm also not saying I wouldn't be hurt if my own father did the same thing.
I judge him for it a little bit.
Since it's not my father, I don't judge him.
That's okay. All right. My opening statement here.
But let's
Gemma
I think
Leslie,
Gemma Leslie had a good
we got to
comment.
point this out. She wrote, maybe your dad, talking to me, maybe your dad had the same take as Nickon had and thought, wow, this is earnest and how embarrassing. Maybe.
And just couldn't face it anymore.
Anyway, go on, Max.
Okay.
Go on.
Christmas cards. I think it's nice to receive a Christmas card because it lets me know, hey, I don't think you're sending them out to 1,000 people. You're sending them at most, not even 100. I mean, it's pretty rare to send that much. So it's pretty nice to.
That's not true.
It's nice to know, hey,
You don't know how many they're sending them to.
1,000. That's a lot.
Do you think that you are close with
Okay, 1,000 was an exaggeration.
1,000 people?
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Whatever the number is, it's still an exclusive amount of people. They're only sending them out to so many people. And it's nice to know, hey, especially if you don't have that much contact with them, as the years pass, hey, we think about you. And this is letting you know that right now. And that's nice to know. That it feels good. It makes me think.
I think it's opposite. Quite the opposite. It's like, hey, remember me? I want to get credit for you for saying something to you without putting any effort. All I had to do was like stick a sticker with your address, cross my fingers, and hope that it's still your address.
And they stamped it. They had to spend money on you to send it to your address. And
it's what, 45 cents?
No, yeah. What is it, 65, 45? What year are you living in? What year are you living in?
65
right?
cents.
We're talking about cents.
I think it's 60-something cents.
No way, it's not that expensive now.
I think it is.
And plus the cost of the card. So,
cost of the card. And the envelope.
Okay, so let's just round up to $1.
The holiday card.
Let's round up to $1.
No, a holiday card costs. It could cost quite a bit.
Okay,
actually.
are you telling me $1 for the whole thing? So if you sent it out to 1,000 people, probably you're not. But it would cost $1,000. Even spending $100 on it, that's
okay.
a lot.
We're getting sidetracked here.
Regardless.
Hey,
it doesn't matter.
splitting hairs, tangents are formed.
I disagree with you because, okay, for instance, I have this friend Curtis from childhood, and his family.
If this somehow becomes about your year abroad, I'm going.
No.
Well, funnily enough, no, just kidding.
Yeah. By the way, if you're tuning in, this is splitting hairs.
Also,
go ahead, say the whole thing.
Funnily, that's not a real word. Grammar corner again here. No, just kidding. It's not a grammar thing anyway. But
it should be a word though.
But
what should?
Funnily.
Funnily. It's not a word.
No, are you saying?
Funnily.
Are you saying that as a question or?
Yeah, I'm saying it as a question. Funnily is not a word.
No, it's not a word. It's funny enough. This is what you would probably actually say, but
I'd like to contest.
This is like Scrabble.
It up.
Oh, funnily is a word.
This is a new word. No, that's a new word. That's a new dictionary
In a
word.
strange or amusing
I don't know
way.
about that. I think you can actually look
funnily.
up when a word was
Funnily?
added.
Boom, Max.
No way, Jose.
There you go.
Bam. Boom. Bing, bang, bomb.
You just got
Is that?
served,
You just
as they say.
Yeah.
And this comes from somebody with 9 years of serving experience.
Okay, well, anyway, that's not the point. The point is...
I missed it. Was that a joke? I missed it. Okay, go on.
The point is...
What?
Okay,
trying to think of
I
a
had this
joke.
friend, and, over the years, as, we graduated, we went to elementary, middle school, and high school together, but as the years went on, we, sort of lost contact. I mean, every now and then I'll see him, if we do like a live stream or something like that and it's on Facebook, he might chime in or something like that here and there.
Yeah.
But it's nice to know, hey, we still think about you and we want to send you a postcard, a Christmas card. It feels good. It makes me think, oh, they haven't forgotten us, we're still, on their minds a little bit at least. That feels good. And it's nice to maintain that connection for whatever reason. It makes you feel even as long as it's been since we actually seen each other in person, it's nice to know that we remain connected on some level,
On some very small, minuscule level,
it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing.
It's a little narcissistic too. I will add.
Narcissistic.
Here's a picture of me. Hold on to it forever.
You don't have to.
Or I will judge you and hate you if I ever
Wait,
find
hold on.
out.
We didn't hold on to it forever. That's a whole nother That's a whole nother debate.
Whoa,
Oh, whole
hold up.
nother is whole nother is not is.
Oh,
No.
I hate. That's a pet peeve. Well, I do it too.
No,
but
a whole
I
nother.
do. We all do it.
no, it's a whole other or a whole another. You would say.
Another.
No, you wouldn't say a whole another. You wouldn't say a whole another.
Then you would say a whole other. You said whole nother. That doesn't make
You
sense.
said
at
whole
all.
nother. We also. Hey, we're all guilty of it, but it is some. I feel somebody has a
Something we should think about for in the future.
Somebody successful has a bit on that.
I hope it's not your favorite comedian,
It's not.
but who will go nameless.
Oh, by the
right
way,
now.
have you seen John Mulaney's new special? It's good.
Really, that's
I did-
interesting. You
I-
say that because I heard it wasn't.
I liked it.
Not. I mean, but who know? Who's to say? I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know.
Right. Just
I
throwing
heard
more
it was-
shade at the sweet, innocent John Mulaney.
Well, I mean, sweet innocent. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
sweet
I
innocent,
wouldn't.
I would not use those words.
Carlin. It might have been Carlin that did a whole nother.
Carlin. Oh, this is a conversation.
He was a
now-
very much of a word guy, of course.
Now-
Oh, very much of a word
What
guy.
is your? I mean, this is a side argument.
tangent.
What is your side tangent here? What is your view on George Carlin as a comedian? Like personally,
Oh,
do you like him? Do you think he's a funny comedian?
I love him through and through. Yeah.
Wow,
Interesting.
man.
Yeah.
You
I guess I just like
I admire
good comedians,
your,
and you guys don't.
I admire
I
your.
think he's an
I
important-
admire your wide range and broad taste in comedic styles. Comedic
Yeah.
stylings.
Isn't that? Do you guys have a very narrow appreciation?
No,
for
I
just a
don't.
hand-
But I will say,
No, I mean,
I will say, after having seen so much stand-up comedy in my life,
Yeah.
not only have I worked as a server in comedy clubs, but we do stand-up, and my older brother's been doing stand-up comedy for 21 years.
Yeah.
A lot of it does become really kind of monotonous. I mean, you
see the same bits over and
things
over again, you know,
and
and
so
it's
it
just-
really takes somebody to really go that extra step of putting on a performance to really wow me.
No, I will say.
But anyway, that's a
I will
whole
And you
watch-
that's
say
subject for another.
George Carlin falls short of that threshold?
Whoa,
No,
whoa,
no,
whoa,
no,
whoa!
hold on.
Beep, beep, beep! Back it up! Back it
Hold
up!
on, let me just finish what I was going to say. Is
I
don't-
think time and place for that
can I
guy.
say, I actually was watching some clips, and I think, especially on his specials, I think he can be really engaging. He's an engaging performer.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think he's not personally doesn't make me laugh. He doesn't make me laugh like an
Doesn't make me
actual
crack
hearty
up,
laugh.
right.
But I think what he has to
right.
say is interesting.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't. I appreciate, and I think I recognize him as an important comedian and groundbreaking. But I don't think personally, I don't think he ages well as
Well,
something
hey,
somebody who I
that
think is
is-
actually that makes me actually laugh, like honestly laugh.
That is
you know?
that is the nature of almost all verbal comedy because it's contextualized and most of it.
Well, most of
I'm
it,
saying,
most of it,
I'm saying-
yes.
Yeah, most of it will age out. I'm not saying all of it, but
Sure.
you know, like Mark Twain still has some turns of phrase that are just to this day still very resonant and hilarious. But who's to say that 200 years from now, he also won't be, irrelevant.
Hey, Mikhail Bulgakov, who wrote The Master and Margarita, another pretentious corner kind of thing.
Oh boy. Did you read
I
it in
actually
France?
have never laughed out loud at a book before I read that book. Actually,
All right.
and
What
that was
year?
written when
the 30s,
the
I think.
30s or 40s. During Soviet Union.
Yeah, I'm
or
not
Stalin
saying
era.
I'm not
Stalin
saying
era.
I'm not saying everything has the exact same shelf life or anything like that. Even I'm just saying
no.
Or
that is the
bookshelf life,
nature.
for that matter.
Yeah, there you go.
No,
that was right there.
I was just
Thank you
curious.
very much.
I just
Like
I
that you
think we
find your
tend- but the thing
you
is,
find your camera for that one.
we see these lists of comedians, and they're George Carlin is always in.
Man, we
he's
are
always
totally
placed
off
as-
on another
he's
tangent
to-
here.
He's top. He's either the top or he's at the second.
Yeah, because he's
second to prior.
influential and all that kind of stuff.
Right,
too.
but do you
yeah.
consider somebody?
This is
you-
this is quite the tangent, by the
Shouldn't
way.
that list
This is
change?
quite the
like
tangent.
as time goes on, shouldn't you think? okay, this person doesn't make me laugh the way these other people do. I mean, if we're talking about straight up comedy, like why do you?
I don't know. Some of it, I still do laugh at a lot of it, and to be honest, I haven't like revisited anything of his in the last couple.
I mean,
of years,
I was just revisiting a few clips, and I was like recognizing it was like, whoa, he is a very good. Technically a good stand-up comedian. Like he's very engaging.
Some of that evokes a laugh too, because it's like just like you splendor in like how delightful it is that he's like pulling something off.
But there is something like, okay, the Marx Brothers are a good example here. They're much older, and I still genuinely laugh at some of their stuff. I mean, there's
some of their stuff.
A lot of their stuff.
Some of their stuff.
Okay. Most of their stuff.
Guys, let's get back to the holiday card thing. Although I do want to say just one side note. I just learned today that, did you guys know that Stephen Wright, when he first appeared on Johnny Carson, they had him back 6 days later to do another set.
Well,
can you believe that? Isn't that insane?
I can believe that because he
was so groundbreaking when he came out, and he really did well the first time on.
And that stuff is still most of that still holds. And again, sure. I'm not saying everything has a 30-year shelf life or anything like that.
No, not everything does. I mean, hey,
sure,
look at. I mean, I still laugh heartily at a lot of the Simpsons episodes, or seasons 1 through 8. I mean,
yeah. I don't know. This is
what I'm trying to say is
that's different. Anyway,
I see these lists.
Anyway, okay. Holiday.
There should be a difference between most important comedians and best comedians. So same goes for my brother and I. Just recently looked at this IGN's 100 best video games of all time. Sonic the Hedgehog wasn't even on there. Anyway, it's another for another time.
Nuts that's not
okay.
on there.
Back to
do you guys
our arguments.
Play the current video games that you can even weigh in on this?
Say what?
Do you guys have an Xbox or any of that shit?
My older brother.
My older brother he plays a lot of these games actually.
Yeah. Okay. If he does,
but he has more knowledge.
I would argue your guys' opinions don't even count.
I know a lot about.
He would say
I know a lot about the newer games though too, Nickon.
But Sonic the Hedgehog. They have a lot of old games too on there too.
He was the mascot of Sega.
They made 2 movies recently of Sonic the Hedgehog.
That does nothing to go towards in the.
Well, what I'm saying is, how is it possible that?
Okay, man, wow, Max, you're really creating some tangents here. Tangents are formed, especially.
Yeah, that's
in
a
this
tangent
episode.
on top of a tangent. I don't even know where we are. Okay, so
Christmas cards.
Yeah, Christmas cards.
Okay. Anyway, I was going to say yes, it does make me feel. And by the way, Christmas cards, you don't have to go.
Holiday cards, Max.
Holiday cards.
Holiday. Come on, guys. Let's be inclusive here. But let's be honest. Nobody's sending, and this is, I don't know.
Let me finish. So.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't have to be typical in the way in your holiday cards.
This is Max. Let me finish. He was like, you see that?
Yeah.
That was a funny little subtle thing there by Max.
You don't have. You can if you want. You don't have to be like everyone, and you can write personalized notes in your holiday cards if you'd like.
Yes, but nobody does.
But you can. Who's stopping you?
One can, but that's not what we're not talking about. Some hypothetical universe where people actually like treat these as if it's an important document of expressing one's feeling about someone else. That's not
let me ask you this,
live in.
Nickon.
It's also kind of.
Does your fiance ever send out holiday cards, or has she in the past?
She doesn't. That's the other thing. I think it's like it's more of a thing that you do once you have a family. And I find it when I was single, I found it to be very. It's like a reminder of how I'm going to die alone. So.
Oh man, you're speaking my language, man. You're speaking my language.
Maybe you know what?
You're preaching to me over here, and I'm digging what you're preaching.
Maybe there should just be a network.
Is that why you? That's why you think it's narcissistic? Because
I think it's like, hey, look at me, I got
because of your insecurity. Your insecurity. That's you're projecting
Nickon,
basically.
This is
okay.
Pinning that. Here's just a quick tangent. We had an episode in the very beginning of Splitting Hairs about this. But where are you on PDA then? Because does that not make you feel like a reminder of your shortcomings in romance?
No.
To see other people.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
You just keep talking. I hear what you're saying. No, that doesn't bother me at all. It's like I'm not going to try to like change people's behavior or like tell people to not do things. I'm just saying.
Well, no, you're not. But does it bother you?
What are you talking about? You're telling them not to do holiday
I'm not going to
cards.
tell people to do a lot of things that bother me.
Well,
I'm not going to tell it to them their face.
I don't mind PDA if you're not part of a group of people, you know? If you're like, if it's just, I'm seeing a couple of people out in the park and they're just by themselves, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're with other people and it's almost like, hey guys, there are other people around and you're just alienating everybody by making out or something like that. And that's awkward, I think.
How are we
rude,
defining,
actually.
how are we defining A, by the way? Because A, I mean, you know, A is...
I'm sorry, we
There's
went
a lot
off
of
on
ways you
this
can express A. There's a lot of ways that you can D A.
That's
Okay.
true. That's true. Or
so what are we talking about?
actually the D, actually, right?
No, the A.
D. The A.
No, what he's saying is,
the D
what
is the active
what is
ingredient.
affection in this situation? What are you defining as affection?
Or what are you? No, you're right.
I think
What are you
what
defining
are you
as D?
defining as display?
Or A, or D, or A.
Or P.
What about P, though?
No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
But
Private
P, well,
displays
that's
of
actually
affection.
true. How are we defining?
That is actually true. What is public?
Penile display of affection.
Yeah, what is public? Is public if there's just one other person in the room? Is public?
There's just
literally-
one other.
If there's
That's
just
even
one other
creepier.
person, that's even
That's even worse. Yeah.
That's very odd. Okay,
Well, again, it depends on what the D is. If the D is just holding hands, which is a D of A, holding hands is a D of A. That bothers me not at all.
a D of A. That sounds funny.
It does.
Just so you guys know, I'm my battery ran out on my phone, but
Good thing
Oh,
we're
that's what's
mainly
happening
on
over there, yeah.
on my phone. So
all right. Well, I should probably wrap up anyways.
yeah, I know.
soon-
Me too.
soonish.
I
once again, we didn't
for
really
for those of you who don't
argue
know
that much about the
for
actual
those of you who don't know, I actually didn't get any
spent so
sleep
much-
last night at all. But and for those of you just tuning in, this is
Right,
great as a
yeah,
Max
this
Nicky
is
Nickon.
splitting hairs.
Anyway, okay. So I gotta say, even though we went on quite a bit of tangents here, I do feel
we
that
covered some good
I
ground.
gotta side as the moderator. I gotta be side as a partial moderator.
Sure.
In this, I side with Nickon on this. I do think
Wow.
I all
didn't get
the
to finish
all the
my-
thi- all
my
the
comment,
aspects, but I will say
I had another thing to say about it.
I do
Let's hear it.
appreciate
Let's hear
getting
it. Maybe this is-
a holiday card from people, and when they write a personalized note, even better. But I
sure.
do always
if
feel like
ever that happens. Which
so. This is
never.
going in a drawer now for, and everywhere I move subsequently is going.
Do you
to
pronounce it drawer for comedic effect, or that's how you really
No,
say
Nicky,
it?
it's drawer.
Drawer. I say drawer. I just say
That's
drawer.
correct. That is correct.
Wait, am I not saying it?
You're
say
not. I
drawer.
used to pronounce
Drawer.
it like Nicky Drawer
Drawer.
because that's how it. If you were phonetically, if you were reading it,
Sure, yeah.
it's
Well,
spelled
phonetically,
like-
it's drawer.
drawer. Yeah.
Did you know I actually learned this my final year in
It's drawer.
college? I couldn't believe this, but how would you say the plural of woman?
Women.
Right. I this might sound stupid, but I didn't know that it was women. Like
So
that's
you
how
would
you
say
pronounce the plural.
woman,
I thought it was just
woman.
women. You know,
Woman.
Woman.
women.
I mean, I guess
women.
it's you could say
Woman.
woman.
That sounds
But it puts,
weird. Woman.
It puts a lot more pressure on that
Women.
second
Women.
syllable to like
Sure,
make
yeah.
sure you're sticking the landing because you could do it.
Woman.
Okay, so woman is the singular, and then the plural, if you want to hold the wa, is
Woman.
women.
It is
It's just-
kind of a
it's a skinnier needle to thread or whatever they say.
What
Sure.
about woman?
Tighter. Women.
Whoa,
Women is just
man.
easier. Whoa, man. All right, but Max had a final argument.
Well, I just wanted to say that you could also you don't have to write personal notes, but you could also do something more creative and send those out to people. And for those people, it's a little treat to have actually.
You
And they'd be like,
can, but that's not what I'm saying.
it does
Nobody
happen.
Does that.
It does. My older brother, I won't say he got it from a comedian that he knows and his family. He got this card.
John Mulaney.
No, but he so he thought it was so funny. He sent it to us, like emailed us a photo of it because he was like, "Look how hilarious this is. It's so funny." And we thought, "Oh my god, this is hilarious." So there you go. Disproven.
The way you just explained that was quite inarticulate.
It's like he said it was funny, and then I saw it, and I said it was funny, and it was funny.
Yeah, that's basically what he said.
Why is that?
He said, and it was hilarious. That's what he said.
Why is that inarticulate? I articulated myself exactly what I meant. That's exactly what I.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's.
I know it was kind of funny because I was kind of repeating stuff.
Hey guys, there. As with anything, there are pros and cons to both. But I do
pros
think
and cons.
And
pros
and Max
Santa
and I,
cons.
Max and I, when we
This is holiday.
when it's somebody's birthday,
Yeah.
often we will make a card. We'll draw our own cards for them.
Yeah, that's lovely. That's lovely.
And
that's
we're drawers.
and-
we're drawers.
and they put it in the
in those
drawer.
cases, I would feel especially bad if somebody threw that away.
Sure.
People
that's
you
a whole
can't
different thing.
but
That's
you can't
some other
You
stuff
can't
we need to
expect people to
unpack.
follow the same.
you can't expect people.
Right.
There's the Seinfeld episode where he gets this thank you card from the woman he's seeing, and she comes by, he throws it out like the day he gets it basically. He like reads it, he throws it out, and she's like, hey, where's the card that I sent you? And he's like, and she sees in the garbage can that it's in there, and he's like, you threw it out? And he's like, well, I read it and I'm done with it now. He's like, but I had put effort in. He's like, you bought the card and you sent it. And that's all she did. And he's like, it's just the matter that you didn't save anything. He's like, well, look I saved these cards for my grandmother. And he's like,
Wait.
oh, so you saved those? And he's like, well, I just want you to show that I can save. Something like that.
Whoa.
Anyway,
wait.
it's kind of a funny thing.
Beep, beep, beep. Let me back this up real quick. And
Oh,
this
God.
might seal the deal for Max's argument.
Okay.
This happened to me just today. I was in Target trying to find a sympathy card, for somebody we knew that passed away and for their family. And I looked at the cards for a long time trying to search for the right card. We're going to write our own note on it anyway. But gosh darn it, did I spend a long time looking for the perfect card for them. So in that case, I did spend time and thought went into me choosing the right card.
We're talking about. We're talking about holiday cards.
No, what he is
No,
talking
but
about.
what I'm saying is the holiday cards. Okay, yes,
You're not going to do a personalized. Even if you don't write a note, you're not going to do a different one for each person you're sending to.
Right.
Yeah,
It is. I do understand, but it does.
It's a narcissistic act. Everybody
You're right.
dresses up.
It's not narcissistic.
You get a
Nickon,
photographer.
you got me.
And you
I
don't
agree.
have to.
It is a narcissistic
You don't need
act.
you don't need to do a photographer. In fact, my mom receives this Christmas card from one of her oldest friends, Priscilla, every year. And there is a personalized note in it all the time,
All right.
actually.
I like
and there is
Priscilla.
no photo on it. There's no photo.
Okay,
It's just a
that's-
holiday
yeah.
theme. It's kind of has red and
But the ones
green
with the
on
family,
it.
it's almost like, oh, look how good my family's doing right now. Look at us be happy.
Yeah.
Or
don't know. What are
ironically
you, still
sad
single?
or whatever.
It's actually kind of nice.
Yeah.
Actually, just one last argument here. It's kind of nice.
Oh, my God.
If you don't see this family all the time, it's kind of nice to see. Oh, look at the people. The kids are growing up. It's kind of nice to you're catching up in photos. Actually, that's kind of nice to see that. Actually, anyway.
It's kind of nice. It'd be more nice if you had picked up the phone on
Well, you can't see them though. I guess you could use Zoom now.
FaceTime. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's almost like. You know,
Listen, we're never gonna agree on this.
I like we were gonna see our cousin. We thought we were gonna see our cousin Larry the past holidays. We only saw his sister Diane, our other cousin, but we didn't see him, and we thought we were going to be able to see him, but we do see at least their family growing through the cards every year in Christmas.
You know, Max, that's true too. It is cool
and
to
it's
see
kind of
your
interesting
family
to see
members.
It's kind of interesting to see
you
that
know,
every year.
extended family members, see them grow up if you don't see them so often. I agree with Max on that point. Hey, you know what, guys?
Let's call
I
it a
agree
draw.
with both of you.
Let's call it a draw.
And I think we'll call it a draw or a draw.
And let's put it in the drawer for some other time.
The drawer.
You guys,
The drawer.
I think we had a lot of great side debates amongst this big debate today. I think this is a great one.
Another great one.
You know
as
what?
opposed to all the rest of them.
I do want to say, as I usually do, that if you like what you heard and saw today, make sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram at Splitting Hairs Podcast. At Splitting Hairs or at Splitting Hairs Podcast?
At Splitting Hairs Podcast.
Splitting Hairs Podcast on Instagram. And
search for it.
whatever platform you listen to, if you can, make sure to rate and review the podcast.
Or on YouTube, just put Splitting Hairs with Max, Nicky, and Nickon. You'll find it.
Anyway, thank you all for tuning in to another edition of Splitting Hairs with Max, Nicky, and Nickon.
Have a good one. Keep tuning in.
Goodbye.